The Nova Kakhovka Dam in southern Ukraine held back water from one of the world's largest reservoirs. It has now collapsed, causing devastating floods in nearby towns and cities. Thousands are evacuating, as Ukrainian and Russian officials cast blame on each other.
The destruction of the Kakhovka Dam today puts thousands of civilians at risk and causes severe environmental damage. This is an outrageous act which demonstrates once again the brutality of Russia's war in Ukraine.
Russia launched its all-out invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 and has controlled the area around the reservoir for over a year. Ukraine and its allies have accused Russian forces of blowing up the dam and hydroelectric power station as a way to hinder Ukraine's ongoing military counteroffensive. In turn, Russian officials blame Ukrainian bombardment for the dam's collapse. Neither side has provided evidence to substantiate their claims.
For Russians, the reason to do it would have been to stop the Ukrainian counteroffensive, obviously, and to create a humanitarian situation in Kherson where people need to be evacuated, and to create swamps so the Ukrainians wouldn't be able to use their mechanized infantry, for instance. It would fit into their strategy of trying to distract the Russians.
The humanitarian and environmental cost of the damage is already severe, and it's expected to get worse. Thousands are struggling to evacuate the area. Russia's invasion has already caused widespread devastation in Ukraine, with more than 8 million refugees fleeing to neighboring countries and another 5 million being displaced internally. Now the destruction of the dam could jeopardize access to drinking water for up to 1 million people. Experts have noted that attacks on civilian infrastructure, such as dams, is considered a war crime.
So there are rules that specifically prohibit attacking civilian objects, and there is also a specific rule that prohibits attacks on dams that could cause severe losses among civilians.
The destruction of the dam could also put an even greater stress on global supply chains. Ukraine is one of the world's largest grain suppliers. Stats from the UN Food and Agriculture Organization show that Ukraine supplies up to 16% of the world's corn and more than 40% of the world's sunflower oil. In Africa, the price of wheat is already up by 45%, according to the African Development Bank. This means the devastation following the dam's collapse has even wider implications than just on the war between Ukraine and Russia, making food less accessible for everyone who relies on Ukrainian exports. Klein, Wang, and Herel Hughes for TaiwanPlus.